Toast Studios in New York City, it's the Hospitality Hangout Podcast with the restaurant guy and the finance guy.
Welcome to the Hospitality Hustlers. I'm very excited. This is a special mini-series within the Hospitality Hangout where we're going to spotlight some incredible people in our industry who have started at the bottom and worked their way to the top. My name is Jimmy Frischling, otherwise known as the finance guy. I'd like to introduce and pass it back to my brother from another mother, Mr. Michael Schatzberg, also known as the restaurant guy.
And thank you for that kind introduction, Jimmy. Jimmy, we can talk about some of the biggest names in hospitality on the show. We always do, right?
Always do.
I mean, we have some of the biggest names, founders, trailblazers. But what really gets me excited, fired up, if I dare say.
Fired up.
Fired up, and I never say that. That's your line. That's your line.
I get fired up.
But I got to tell you, it's the stories. It's the stories, Jimmy? You remember that from, what was that from? That was from...
That's Seinfeld, isn't
no,
that Kramer?
No.
The
stories
did he
is
sell
from...
his stories
Bill
to Jay
Murray
Peterman?
from Stripes.
Oh.
Right? It's like, you know what I always... I don't get the girls because
I got stories.
Because the stories
Yes.
they tell, right?
There you go.
I mean, and he says to the... What's the guy? He goes... You wild man, when you tried to make it with that cow, you crazy. Hey, I got to party with you, cowboy, right? Yeah. Anyway, it's the stories they tell. It's the stories. Anyway, I love the Hustlers, Jimmy, because what we found out on the Hangout is, and we've had, 300 episodes now.
I think we're over 400.
Over 400 episodes right now. I was very close, right?
Very close.
I was very
Leave the numbers to me, but you're good. You're fine. You're fine.
We have over 1,000 episodes of the Hangout, and what we found out was that so many of the founders and CEOs and these folks who really are hustlers. Why? Because they started in the dish room. They started as a dishwasher. They started as a prep cook, a line cook, a host, a bartender. Somewhere really no disrespect, but in the bottom of our industry, so to speak.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And they worked their way up to becoming literally rock stars, leaders, hustlers.
Well, I think, look, our industry is far from perfect, and we have a lot of work to do. But I'm yet to see or find one that is more democratized than ours. And what I mean by that is people who do start.
I'd like to explain democratization.
They do start I started as a bar back and a busboy. Then you get promoted to waiter or bartender, and you keep moving. Or if you're in the kitchen, you're the dishwasher.
Yeah.
And I remember we had a podcast series, and I was telling our guests before we just kicked off, 5 of the 6 CEOs started as dishwasher. And that was kind of the idea, wait a second, let's look into this further. And I give credit, Shatsy, Julie, our partner, came up with the Hospitality Hustler series because these are hustlers. So There's a special series within the Hospitality Hangout. We're going to shine a spotlight on the relentless go-getters, okay? The ones that punched in, did whatever it took, mop floors, took orders, just kept climbing. And these are the grinders, the dreamers, and the doers that prove this industry, hustle matters. And that's what I love that we are going to feature. And the hustler to us is just that. It's the person who started this industry entry level and just grew up to become the big dog, the CEO and the leader, and that's so freaking cool.
It is. And you know what, Jimmy, before we get into this, because before we get into the hustlers, right, let's just talk about something that I was up last night. I had dinner down at Isabel's, which was delicious, by the way. Saw a lot of friends. It was a gorgeous night out in the city. I don't have to tell you. The city was bustling with excitement. And I got home and I watched, what am I watching right now? I started watching, Stick. Stick is a new show on Apple with, what's his name? Owen Wilson. Wilson?
Yeah, I don't watch TV.
I know, but I'm letting you know.
I appreciate that.
It's a new show about, golf. He was a golfer, his ex-PGA golfer. I think it was Owen Wilson, right? Julie, does anyone know what that was? It's the blonde Wilson. There's 2 of them, right? I watched a couple episodes. That was great. And as I'm watching that, I drifted. I lost, because I have ADD.
Yes, you're kind of doing that right now.
Yes, I drifted. And I started thinking about point of sale systems.
Ah, yes.
And I started saying, wow, we were so busy tonight. And I noticed all the staff, as busy they were, they didn't look like they were in the weeds. They looked very calm, cool, and collected. You know what I realized? Every one of them was holding one of those Toast handhelds.
Yes.
Everyone was using the Toast handhelds. They weren't running back and forth to the terminals.
Not getting their steps in, but very efficient.
Right. They weren't getting their steps in, but I think that they weren't in the weeds. And what I loved about it was they were using the Toast handhelds. They were using it to take orders. They were using it for payments. They were using it for everything. And it made it. I saw the flow better. So what I want to tell everybody out there, that if you're not using toast right now to run your restaurant, I got to tell you, it's nuts to me. Jimmy, it's nuts. So listen, just check out toasttab.com, and if you're, I got to tell you, and it's not just for SMB, Jumbo. Enterprise, retail, everything is using Tab. They're killing it. They're killing it. They have like 500,000 restaurants on it right now. I think, and I think just in the last 5 minutes, another 100,000 things on there. Anyway, listen, Jimmy, let's jump into it, okay? Because right now we have an absolute trailblazer with us, Derrick Hayes, okay? The Big D. We call him Big D here. That's what I call him, okay? I met him outside, and I say, this guy's a trailblazer, okay? CEO and founder of Big Dave's Cheesesteaks. Big Dave's Cheesesteaks. You know who likes cheesesteaks, Jimmy?
This guy.
You like cheesesteaks. Yeah. Jimmy swallows a lot of aggression and a lot of cheesesteaks too. And a lot of cheesesteaks too. And this is history in the making because we're talking about a guy, okay, who started in a 700 square foot gas station. Jimmy, that's smaller than this room, I think. Don't quote me.
Okay, I won't quote you then. I won't correct
you. But it looks like it's smaller.
Yeah, Derrick just looked at me and I was like, let him go. Just
Derrick, is this bigger than 700 square feet?
No, it's smaller. But
this is smaller.
But I will say this: my kitchen was about this size.
Yeah. All right. Well, I knew. All right. So I got
you got that far off.
Yeah. My spatial. I have a good understanding of spatial things. Okay.
Absolutely.
He is now revolutionizing the fast casual industry, one cheesesteak at a time. So before we dig into it, okay, let's just. I feel like this goes on and on and on. I feel like I gotta get.
I like that. I want to know how many minutes we're going to go into the show before we let Derrick say hi.
Yeah, I feel like we gotta. I feel like I gotta just bring Derrick in and just be like, you know what, Derrick, let's just jump into it, okay? How'd you get into the Big Dave's Cheesesteak? Let's just jump into the story here, okay? Let me just give you a little intro theme, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, here he is.
He's going to give you music.
All right, let's get the intro.
Derrick Hayes, CEO and founder of Big Dave's Cheesesteak, has just walked into the studio. He's just walked in.
Schatzberg was only buying time, waiting for.
Big
D was selling cheesesteaks. He was busy.
You know, you are a hustler. You are a hospitality hustler, a true hustler. How'd you get started? Tell us the story.
Well, first of all, I see why you guys linked up. This is really cool watching, by the way.
Two idiots.
Hey,
with a mic, 2 idiots with cameras and mics.
Hey, man, y'all making it look good, man. So
thank you. I appreciate that.
I jumped into this because I watched my father die in front of my face to lung cancer, and I wanted to honor his name in something. And when I moved from West Philly, when I moved to Atlanta, I just wanted to start over. And I saw there was an open lane for cheesesteaks. And I was like, you know what? There was a lot of concepts that was selling Phillies, and I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm like, this is not a real authentic cheesesteak. So I called my mom, and I said, Mom, I know what I'm going to do now. I'm going to start my own cheesesteak concept.
Because you got to bring the real cheesesteak.
Yeah, being from Philly.
Who else is from West Philly?
Will Smith.
Will Smith, right?
Smith.
Let me see if I can pull up a little.
And West Philadelphia, born and raised.
Oh.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, well, right? Isn't Fresh Prince, right? We got to get him into Big Dave's Cheesesteaks, right?
We do. We got to get Will in there.
Yeah, so tell us the story. So, I mean, he was playing basketball. You want Jimmy to sing it? Wait, what? Who was singing that? Is that Jimmy?
That wasn't me. That's better than I could sing.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't even know what that was. But anyway, so let's get back to the story. Julie, I don't know what that was, but if you want Jimmy to sing something, let me know. We'll have Jimmy sing.
Yeah, we'll do that after recording the episode.
Yeah. So let's get back to it. So West Philly, you and Will Smith, were you friends?
I actually just got an opportunity to meet Will about a few years ago. I did an activation for Peacock when he was doing the rebirth of Fresh Prince.
Right.
They built the location on the red carpet. That was a Big Dave's. I got an opportunity to make cheesesteaks, so that was cool.
So you're making cheesesteaks for a while.
Hey, yeah, man.
So let's get back to the history.
I've been grinding.
Let's get back to the history. So you're in Philly. You move away, and the cheesesteaks are terrible.
Yeah.
They're calling them cheesesteaks, Philly cheesesteaks, but they're not.
Yeah, it was like basically, watching someone represent your city in the wrong way because I felt like they was fooling a lot of people. I want people to get the real authentic taste of what, my hometown had to offer.
It was insulting is what it was.
Yeah, it was. I'm saying, and no shade, I'm happy.
It's like me bringing matzo ball soup somewhere, Jimmy, like Mexico, and they're putting tacos in the matzo ball soup or something like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to see people, start businesses and, try to grow and scale, but, when it's something that is not the authentic way.
Right.
You know, I had to jump in and show them, you know, how it's done.
So so it's 2000. So look, you lost your dad.
Yeah, so I
Hysterical.
lost. So just to give you some
give us a little,
backstory.
yeah.
So my dad got sick in 2009. Out of nowhere, he thought he had a cold. It wound up being cancer. He couldn't get into the Fox Chase Cancer System. Was in Philadelphia, so we decided to go down to Atlanta where my grandparents was. He went to Emory University until the day that, you know, he passed away. But when before he passed away, I promised my dad that I was going to break all the generational curses. I would stay out of trouble. He knew I was the one that could do it. So it was a lot of weight on me, you know, honoring a man that you respected.
Well, I just want to ask you.
Yeah.
When you were younger, were you in a lot of trouble?
Yeah, I used to get in trouble.
What were you doing?
But you know,
Jimmy was a bad boy.
Nah,
too.
so with me, I played basketball my whole life. I was actually a good kid. I used to just do things, and I got tricked out of my spot a little later in my life where I got incarcerated for narcotics, and I was an embarrassment to myself, to my family, to my father, and I was like, you know what? With Big Dave's, I'm gonna do this differently. I'm gonna show the world that you can make a mistake and come back from it and inspire everybody. And that's really been a journey.
I got to tell you, that's awesome.
We also,
So
we love the, I mean, America, I mean, people love the comeback.
I mean, because
They
a lot
love the
of
stories.
people don't know. A lot of kids are actually good kids. It's the environments they're around. Sometimes you don't even know you're doing something bad. Just think about it. If you guys were around podcasters when you were 7 or 8 years old, that's all you guys would know. You would have started doing podcasting.
Right.
You know, when sometimes you're in these lower income communities, you see things, you know, you think that is okay, and by the time you're an adult, you already made all the mistakes that everybody else made.
Yep.
But the smart thing is when you know you're making the mistakes. You know, I had times in my life where I'm like, you know what, this ain't me. This is not what I want to do. I know I'm better than this. I know God brought me here as a vessel. I'm going to be here and defeat the mission. So it's like being in a cardboard box. You got to bust through it.
Yeah, no, amazing. So your dad passed away.
Yeah.
You promised your dad that you would break all the generational curses.
Yep.
And that for you was that, so then a few years passed.
Yeah, a few years passed. So
and then
in
big
between
days.
that, in between that gap, I was working, and you know, I just, you know, I've always been an entrepreneur. Even when I was 7, 8 years old, I was out there selling bean pies in Philadelphia newspapers. By the time 13, I was shoveling snow in a suburban neighborhood. So I always wanted to go out and get my own. Not that I didn't want to ask anybody for anything, but it felt better when I was like, you know, not wasting time. So with this thing with my father, I wanted to make him.
Wait, how old were you when your pop died?
I was 22.
Okay, so
I was 22 years old, so I just was, you know, I was going into adulthood. You know, I tell people, like, you know, the law is 18, you grown 21, you know, you can drink and all that, but I feel like we're still little kids. There's a little kid in you, there's a little kid in you still.
Oh, there's a lot of little kids.
Yeah, because think about it.
I'm incredibly mature.
Yeah, but think about it. Think about the stuff in your life that hurt you, that now, you know, sometimes it might resonate to stuff in your adulthood, and you might be by yourself, and you be like, well, I got to get it together.
Yeah.
It's trauma, no
Yeah.
matter what community environment you come from. And for me, throughout those years from 2009 to 2014, I was trying to figure life out. And
So what was the aha moment? So 5 years go by.
Yeah, 5 years.
And Shell gas station, Dunwoody, Georgia.
Yeah.
What's the story?
Funny story with that is, I was when I moved to Atlanta, when I decided to do this business, I thought that someone just released me in space, and you know, I was going to open up and I was going to have lines down the block.
Right.
Well, I went to every single place, and they was like, you know, you don't have any business experience, we're going to pass. So I'm like, what the hell? I got the money. Like, you know, why you guys won't let me, you know, lease the space? So let me tell you what this lady did, her and her husband. It was a really nice area. I wasn't ready for this area. I'm glad she paused on me though, right? But I thought I was. But
you were shooting for the stars. You
I was
shooting.
I was right here trying to get there. But that's always been my mentality.
Why not, man? Yeah.
I'm always shooting for the outreach.
Jimmy, what's your line that we found that Gretzky said?
Gretzky's line is, you miss 100% of shots you don't take.
Right, but everybody always thought it was Jordan.
They always thought it was Jordan. It was
Yeah.
Gretzky.
Yeah.
Actually, also, Gretzky was, you anticipate where the going. That's what made him great.
Oh.
Yeah, but
Anticipate
so
where the going. Jordan actually was the shots.
Like that.
I mean, sort of.
Yeah.
Sort of. Maybe it was Derrick.
Yeah, but like I was saying, this lady, I got all the way to signing the lease. I was telling my family, like, I finally got a location, and guess what? It's in the heart of the city of Atlanta, and this is gonna do good. And a lady called me, and she said, Derrick, you know, we decided to go with this other group. They had more experience in business, so we're gonna pass.
Yeah.
And I gave this lady.
Were you like just deflated? Like
No, you know, honestly, for one, I over-approved that I was supposed to have that space. I gave her all the financials that I had personally. I even gave her car titles that I owned. I didn't know no better. I just wanted the space. And truth be told, I went on LoopNet. Are you familiar with LoopNet? So LoopNet is somewhere where you could find hospitality spaces, buildings like we're in right now, office spaces, any of that, right? So I look on there and I see this space that says, for rent in a Shell gas station, Dunwoody, Georgia, $1,500 a month.
And where's Dunwoody in relation to like Atlanta?
It's
a tiny little place.
Yeah, it's about maybe like 35 minutes outside the city of Atlanta.
And how many people live in Dunwoody? Do you know?
Not me. No, not me. It's not me.
Is it like 50,000, 10,000? Like, is anyone is it tiny?
No, honestly, it was a lot of Jewish community. It was Hispanics on the other side of it. So that market was very challenging, but it was fun because it gave me my identity.
So wait, so you go to Dunwoody and you see, so you're on this LoopNet, and you see a Shell station in Dunwoody.
Yep. So listen, so I pull up. I had a cherry red Corvette. I pull up, and I see this Indian guy. He was a young Indian guy. His name was Mike. Shout out to Mike. I ain't never shot Mike.
It's a very Indian name.
Mike, you get a shout on the
I got to turn this air conditioning off, Jimmy. I can hear it. I can hear it.
Okay.
I got it. Hold that thought. Hold that thought.
By the way, this is a first. We've never actually just kind of take a pause to turn off the AC. That's all right. I wouldn't worry about Mike. By the way, you were ahead of your time today, given what's going on with electric cars and given what's going on with cars that get better gas mileage. Gas stations need to come up with something else. So these little C-stores are now trying to come up with. You were doing that before. You were doing that before it was actually even recognized.
And when you guys hear the story, it's gonna be like.
So I want to hear. So I have to turn the. So you go over. You pull up in a cherry red vet.
Yeah.
Mike the Indian guy.
Mike comes out, and Mike's like, "Hey, I'm leasing this space. What do you want to do with it?" And I tell him, I said. First, I wasn't selling cheesesteaks. I was selling water ice, Italian ice. I said I wanted to open up like a water ice type of shop with ice cream.
Okay.
He's like, okay, cool. It was supposed to be a liquor store, and he didn't get approved for it. So it was already done up. It had hardware floors and everything like that, right?
Right.
So I'm thinking all I'm going to have to do is go in here and then put my refrigerations in, and it was gonna work. But I had to take everything out because it didn't fit my concept. Like it wouldn't pass or anything. It was some of the stuff was house equipment. Has to be restaurant certified. So as time went on, once I finally get open, I'm selling these ices. Nobody's coming in. Literally nobody.
What flavors were you selling?
Oh, I was selling all the flavors, man. I had mango, I had cherry, I had rainbow,
it's hot
lemon.
Down there. Why was nobody buying ice?
Because nobody know what the hell is water ice at the time.
I don't know what water ice is.
Yeah, and you should because you're next to Philly. So Italian ice and color water ice.
I thought it was Italian ice.
Yeah, well, it's sort of like Italian ice, but the thing about it was,
this was a Jewish community.
Yeah, but you know what?
We have no idea what.
So check this out, right? So you remember what you just said? You said you got challenged earlier. So I got challenged early on to be in a community that I didn't understand. So while I'm sitting there waiting for kids to come in, and I'm watching kids all in the neighborhood, they just not walking in, and one lady pulled up. I never forget this. This is when I knew I was ready for business because this was the toughest thing I had to endure. She pulls up at the gas pump. She got these kids, and I'm like, hey. I walk over to her. She's like, get back. You can't pump my gas. I'm like, no, I own this business here, right? So the kids running to the store.
Mommy, I want ice.
Forced her to come in. Yeah. And when I tell you this, right, so the whole judgmental thing and book box cover thing, this actually happened to me, but it taught me in a different way. The lady who actually judged me wound up being a supporter to help me grow inside the neighborhood. Right. She was like the soccer mom, the community person.
Right.
So,
she's the person.
Exactly.
So sometimes
and so you broke that barrier of literally. It's almost like you said, it's like a racist moment, right?
I mean, but think about it, right?
She was judging you.
But think about how many mistakes that we make in those moments.
Yes.
And you don't give a person the opportunity to understand you, right?
Right.
So for me, I'm like, damn, what do I do? But after her kids now get the ices, I give them to them. I didn't charge them, right? She asked me where I come from. Now I'm telling her my whole story in a nutshell real quick.
Right.
And on Saturday, she brung some kids and the community started coming in. And I learned from that point on, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to disrupt this market because I'm going to let people know who I am as a person, no matter what they can judge, because when you get to meet me, you'll know the mission.
Right.
And I said, when they find out the mission, it's going to be unstoppable, and that's really how I did it.
I love it. And are you still friends with this woman?
Actually, I haven't spoken to her in probably about 5 or 6 years.
I feel like we should get her on the line.
I need to find her.
Call in and find
Definitely,
her.
man.
By the way, she that moment turned into she was a key person.
She was the key person in that community.
She was a key person for
Yeah.
you. That meet cute, that moment.
Yep.
Yeah, but my question now is, okay, so now you're selling ices.
Yeah.
They're flying.
Nah, they ain't flying.
Oh, they ain't flying.
They ain't flying.
So that was the only day you did
No,
business.
listen, they ain't flying. I'm making
they ain't flying.
I'm making like $500 a week.
Yeah,
They
she
ain't flying.
had one customer, one soccer league.
Yeah,
One
okay.
soccer game. I
One
got.
soccer game
Got
a
it.
week.
Okay.
No, but I'm gonna tell you what got me to flying.
Yeah.
So, after about a year of trying this, I just really just was like falling apart. Man, my grandfather was sick. He eventually passed away, and all the men in my family who raised me, they were all going away from me. So I had stress on me real hard that year, and then I got a call. Eve, the rapper, she was shooting in barbershop. And I got a call that Eve was going to come to get a cheesesteak because.
But wait. Where was the cheesesteak? I thought we have ices.
Oh, so let me
Yeah,
rewind.
you're going.
Rewind.
That's I'm
Let me
trying to
rewind.
get. You're selling these
Hold up.
crazy ice that no one's ever heard
Hold
of.
up, let me tell you how I got into
Yeah,
that.
that's
So-
what I want to know. You missed the
Yeah,
whole bit.
I did.
Eve's having cheesesteak in a
Yeah,
place that has
so,
ice.
no, so
That's how good
no,
Derrick
that was
is.
good.
Called an icy shop, goes, I want a cheesesteak. I can get you a
Yeah.
cheesesteak. I can get you
I
a
wish I
cheesesteak.
could have done that. It
Yeah.
would have saved me some money.
So Eve the rapper, she's not there yet.
Okay, so she's not there yet. Act like I never
You're
told
not
you.
selling a lot of these ices.
I'm not selling a lot of
Oh,
ice.
we got to do a Scooby-Doo moment.
Yeah, let's start over.
Rewind. Okay,
Yeah.
we're still at icy.
So
Go
I
ahead.
called my mother and I'm like, Mom, this ain't working for me. I think I'm gonna give up on this. Like, I tried, and she's like, No, you should do what you said you wanted to do. You said you wanted to start a cheesesteak business. You should do it. And I said, but Mom, I'm gonna have to put a hood in here. It's gonna cost me $50,000 $1,000.
Yeah, a lot of money for a hood, no doubt.
To do all these things, right? And let me tell you something. I bet it on myself because I took my last couple dollars and I put that hood in there, and I still wasn't getting a lot of traction, but it was doing a little bit better. And then I get a call from Eve, not personally herself, her team.
For people.
Yeah, saying that, she wants to, come in and get a cheesesteak.
Why?
Because I was the Philly guy.
So you were the Philly
Yeah, you got to
guy.
think about it. Like,
Right.
that's like right now.
So Big Dave
Yeah.
started now after the ices.
Yes.
You start the cheese.
It was called Dave's Philly Water Ice first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I wouldn't say I failed on that one, but that was the first venture. You
That's
know what?
okay.
You didn't
I'm
fail.
going
You
to
didn't fail.
I'm going
Fail.
to
It's
a
tell
stepping
you.
stone.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you guys right now. The world has never looked at it this way, and I've never looked at it this way. Is that Big Dave's was actually my second business. I always would combine them two and say it's just one, but Dave's Philly Water Ice was my first business that it didn't pull what I was trying to do.
Right.
And when I changed the name in 2016 to Big Dave Cheesesteaks, but before I get that far, when Eve came in, I literally couldn't make payroll that Friday. I was struggling. I wasn't hitting any numbers. And I never choked. So I'm sitting there on this grill, and I'm like, you never choke. You better not choke now. And I'm sitting there chopping this chicken cheesesteak like my life depends on it. I can remember the sandwich. She had a chicken cheesesteak, salt, pepper, ketchup, fried onions, mayonnaise. And when I gave it to her, she said the people that was with her is not going to order it till she tastes it. She bit it, and she went crazy over it.
Really?
She loved it. The next day, I had about 500 people in my parking lot.
Oh,
Now-
Eve.
Did she talk about it somewhere? Did she say something?
Oh,
Or
she
what-
put it all over social media everywhere.
Boom.
She
Yeah.
put it all over social
Eve.
media.
Shout out to you, Eve.
Shout
Yeah.
out to Eve. I
at
always
that.
tell her, like, I even write her sometimes in the DM, and I always just out of nowhere tell her, thank you so much for helping me with this dream. She always say that I was going to do it anyway. I didn't do anything but do what I was supposed to because you had a good brand. But I really thank her because I was at a real down slope in my life at that time. But
So Eve basically puts you on the map.
Yep.
On social media, and
Eve put me
now
on the map.
you're off and running.
Yep. And now, I'm now starting to make some money. But before I get to that part, when these people show up, everybody always asks for something.
Yes.
And when you ask for some stuff, sometimes you might not be ready for it.
Right.
So while I now got all these people in my parking lot, I don't have the inventory.
Oh,
And
so
I
you
don't
ran-
have the
so
money
you
to
ran
buy
out
the
of
inventory.
cheesesteaks.
I don't have the money to buy the
So you
inventory.
got no bread, no cheesesteaks.
So guess what I did?
I have no idea.
My cousin is going back and forth every time we make a couple $100, and he's buying a product. He's running back and
Where's
forth.
going to the supermarket?
Yep. We're
Yep.
going to Restaurant Depot, back and
Going to
forth.
Restaurant Depot.
Depot.
Yeah.
Listen, when I tell you I built Big Dave's brick by brick,
Yep.
Literally.
I built it brick by brick.
That's scrappy.
So that one day, every time we get out of like 5 cases of steak, he running to go buy 5 more because I didn't have the money.
Right. So you'd have to take what you sold.
Yeah.
And then go buy some more. Just
Yes.
keep on turning the sales into more.
Yep.
Yeah, I hear you.
So eventually,
Brilliant.
the business started to grow a little bit. And then in 2018, this is when everything took a turn for me. I had an opportunity to represent Georgia in a sandwich competition up against 1,500 world-known chefs.
Really?
I'm a street cook. Never been to Cordon Blues, none of this stuff. I don't have any experience but my grandfather on Sunday making his Sunday dinners. Right? So Bo Jackson is a judge, a couple other people. And as soon as I get there, I see a gas grill, no griddle. I'm like, how in the hell am I supposed to make a cheesesteak?
You need the plancha, man.
But you know what? My whole life, has been obstacles and roller coaster rides, and I've always been challenged. So I said, you know what? Think. So I said, I'm going to go get this griddle. I went and bought that skillet. You know that flat skillet?
Put it right on top.
I put it right on top.
100%.
And I sat there and made that Dave's way, and I gave it to Bo Jackson. And granted, why I gave them this sandwich, I didn't know that I would actually come in the top 10. I was sitting there running my mouth to some lady in this arena. It was a very big arena with a couple thousand folks in there, and I'm sitting there talking, and she's like, hey, didn't you say your name was Derrick Hayes? I said, yes. She said, look up top. And it said, from West Philadelphia, Derrick Hayes, number 7. And I was like, holy shit.
So you won the whole competition.
I came in the top 10.
Top 10.
Came in 7
Yeah,
out of
but
1,500.
what I'm about to tell you is this, though. I came in the top 10. I'm in Orange Beach, Alabama. A black guy in Orange Beach, Alabama. They call it Florida Bama, right? So you're on one side of the street, you're in Florida. The other side of the street, you're in Alabama, right? And I'm saying to myself, for me, that was first place. Because I've done something that nobody in my culture has ever done.
Right.
And I didn't get a chance to even qualify because I submitted my recipe at 12:01 midnight. It had to be submitted by 12 a.m.
Right.
So that 1 minute disqualified me.
Right.
But they didn't understand. I didn't need to be first place. Just like fast casual.
Yeah.
I didn't need it. I broke the barrier.
Yeah, 100%.
So I was going home saying I was ranked in the top 10. But
you were in the competition, baby.
But let me tell you the funny part about the whole thing. So that night, I get in number 7 top 10, and I'm in this bar. It's called Florida Bama Bar or something like that. And I'm the only black guy in there, right? We partying our ass off. I'm talking about you couldn't tell me anything, right? So what I'm realizing is we're in a real classism world where, it's like right now, we hospitality guys and we all speaking facts. We know that it's some education to each other. That guys been skinning the game. Mm-hmm. You'll sit at the table and let's build. And that's what I learned from that moment. It's like, if you want to get taken serious, you have to put the work in to be serious. And I came home, number 7, top 10, and I was able to carry that story till right now, and it helped me in my career in a big way. But I know that I got the product. See, there's a difference when you got a story. They'll buy the story, but they won't keep coming because the product won't keep them.
Well, I got to tell you right now, and now you got 10 locations.
10 locations.
Right? You're going to Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Yes.
Right?
Oh. Highest grossing business in the stadium.
Orlando Magic.
Yes.
Right? You can be with Orlando Magic.
Yep.
Right? And you got 5 kids, and you're married to Pinky Cole.
Yes.
From the Slutty Vegan.
Yes.
I didn't know that. I knew the 10 stores. I knew the 5 kids.
So I mean, y'all say y'all want me to give it all away. I'm trying to give it all away to y'all.
Itching it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have breaking news on the Hospitality Hangout. This is coming in right now. This is breaking news, Jimmy. This is just coming over the wires. We are with Derrick Hayes, and he's married to Pinky Cole from the Slutty Vegan, and according to this, they have 5 children. Can you confirm?
Yes, I'm confirmed.
He has 5 children. So that is breaking news.
But, let me tell you, Pinky really gave me...
How long have you been married?
We're about to be married 2 years on the 10th of June. So it's coming up, my anniversary. But we've been together for 5 years.
Very busy with the 5 kids.
Oh, yeah. Well, I had 2 before I met her. We had 3 back-to-back.
I mean, Jimmy, I'm not good at math. But I understand something about the whole 9 months and this and that. And I'm doing the math. And I'm like, I have 5 kids, 2
But we
years.
did have 3 back-to-back. And I can tell you this. I had 2 girls before I met her. Yeah. And I got my first son. It's Derrick Jr. And man, I get emotional sometimes when I talk about this. But my son was born on my father's death day.
Oh, man. Isn't that crazy how shit like that happens?
Yeah, so
I think that's when you start saying
I know
the big man up there.
I know the man upstairs has been watching me and guarding me
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
So on July 6, 2009, I lost my father. On July 6, 2021, I gained my son.
It's that's the whole circle of life,
the full circle
right?
moment.
Yeah.
He looks just like my dad. He reminds me of him. It's just like, it took me about, I'm gonna be honest, it took me about 6 months to like really hold him, because it was so unreal to me. And Pinky called me and she was like, D, we're gonna have this baby on your father's your death day. Like, they told me I'm getting induced like tomorrow. And I'm like, no way.
Was she like, is that okay? Is that cool?
Yeah,
Do you like
she
that? Or
was
should we
actually,
change
but
it
it was nothing that she could do because she had to.
The doctor.
She had to go.
Listen to your doctor.
Yeah, she had to listen to the doctor.
Yeah.
And
It's
after
amazing, though. What a
yeah,
beautiful story.
So now, on that day, I'm not stressed out anymore. I can look over at my son and say happy birthday. And I'll be like, Dad, you came back. You came back some way.
Yeah, exactly.
You came back. But I wound up after my first child was my daughter Dee, which is funny story is I thought I couldn't make boys, so I named it a letter D.
So you got Dave, Derrick Jr.
So the kids I have is I got Dallas, Denver.
Wait, Dallas?
Denver.
Her name is Dallas Denver.
No, Dallas and Denver.
Oh, I was going to say Dallas.
Dallas and Denver.
All right, is that because, what's Ron Howard has a Dallas.
So I named
and he said he named his children where he had wherever he had babies.
Actually,
so he has one kid named Dallas and one kid I don't know what else.
Fort Lauderdale.
One kid's named so is Dallas in Denver significant?
Yeah.
To that?
So no, but that's cool. So I wanted my kids all to have my initials DH.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So I named my kids is Dallas and Denver. That's my two oldest.
Right.
And then I have D, which is my junior girl who I thought I couldn't make boys with, so I named the letter D. Her middle name is Ella, so the family called her D Ella.
D Ella, I like that.
Yes, and then I have Derrick, and then I have David.
That's your dad.
Yes. So the way I did it was David used to take care of Derrick. Now Derrick is going to take care of David.
But now the only problem with this, and it's great, is is D Ella now? Is she get the name D? Like who gets to be called D? Only you?
Nah, so we got a
if
DJ.
I yell D in your house,
So
does everyone
Derrick-
say, what?
No,
Oh,
so
even
Derrick,
Picky
so
even Picky
Derrick
goes,
is
yes.
DJ. So Derrick Jr., we call him DJ.
Right.
So he's not. We don't even call him Derrick, and we call my son David. We call him Dash, because we use my father's first name and Pinky's father's middle name
I
for
love
David
it.
Asher. So we called him Dash.
I love
So
I
we
love
got
these names.
we
They're
got
great.
Dash and we got
I may steal
D.
some of these names. I mean, I'm thinking
Yeah,
about
by the
another
way,
kid. I'm thinking about another kid.
Think about your three
No,
kids.
no. Listen,
I
you know
should
my
have
wife.
another kid?
No, my wife called me yesterday. No, true story. She said, "Hey, you want to have them?" I said, "Hell no."
Really?
I got
Wait,
five, man.
yesterday she just asked if you want
She
to have
just
another kid.
asked. She said, "We're gonna have one more."
Why?
She's
Want
like, I want
six
one more.
kids?
6.
I mean, I thought 3 was the magic number, Jimmy. Isn't 3 the magic number?
Hey, man. Every time I see one, I'm like, man, I gotta make another $1 million, man.
Yeah, I would. I mean, that's the going rate. It's got to be $1 million a kid or something like
Right.
that. That is crazy. All right, Jimmy, we got some more stuff to get to over here, but I got to tell you, so this is really unbelievable. I mean, the royalty that we have here right now.
I really have to tell you guys though how the whole me and Pinky thing happened.
Oh,
So,
okay. Yeah, where'd you guys meet?
Yeah, so when the George Floyd riots happened in 2020,
Uh-huh.
and the pandemic was coming in, my flagship location, they bust the windows out, right?
Okay.
So all of the windows is it was downtown Atlanta, so that's why a lot of rioting was
Right,
going on.
yep.
So Pinky reached out to me and she said, "Hey, you need any help?" And I was like, "Nah, I don't need any help, but I would love if we could link up and build," because she was doing stuff in the community. I
So
was.
you had your eye on her before.
No, she had her eye on me. She slid in my DM.
Yeah, but
No.
you know.
Let me explain the whole thing.
Okay, let me hear the whole
So
story.
I thought like you thought. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, it was coming from a business side, right? So
No, I wasn't thinking business at all. I was thinking it was coming from the other side.
so we link up.
She was just using it as a lame excuse to
Yes.
hook up.
Yes, that's what she did.
100%.
That's exactly what
she
she
didn't
did.
want to help you.
When she listened
could
to this,
care
she
less
gonna know
about your
when
windows
when
being
she
broken.
See this, she gonna know I'm telling the truth. But we linked up and we went to a vegan restaurant. I didn't even know what vegan food was. It was called
Yeah, I would imagine you would.
Sunflower Cafe in Atlanta. So while we sitting there, just like I'm sitting from you guys, and I'm sitting here talking to her, and I'm realizing that this woman is exactly me. She would jump off the cliff. She's a hustler. She believed like I believed. I'm like, I know I'm supposed to be here on business, but this is deep. Like this connection.
She's like, you're so sexy.
It was there.
That's what she said.
Yeah, and let me tell you though, she went listen. So when I went to go open it, first of all, when I went to go walk in the restaurant, she hit me with this. "Are you gonna grab the door?"
Ooh.
So I was like, I like the sassy. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
she was
saying?
sassy.
I like the sassy.
Yeah.
But it worked out. Needless to
testing
say, we had our kid in the first 3 months. She got pregnant.
I mean, I got to tell you, he worked fast, man.
Nah, she was,
And, you know, it's funny,
she did it,
Jimmy,
man.
complete opposite Jimmy. Yeah, do you know how? When Jimmy got married? When did you get married?
46.
Yeah.
I got married.
No, but Jimmy,
Go
but
ahead.
Jimmy, that's amazing. Let me tell you why, right? It's like a hustler not giving up on his career. He made it happen one day.
Jimmy was so focused on his career, he had no time for women.
I woke up. I
Yeah.
said, "What happened here?"
Yeah.
He
No
made it
time
happen-
for
he made it
women.
happen one day. But needless to say, we're in a hospitality household. It's amazing because I get to do business with her, and I get to do business with somebody beside me that understands the group that I'm in. The
Right.
space.
Definitely a hospitality
And that's amazing, man.
Yeah, we should have Pinky here.
Yeah.
Could have both. You guys,
Yeah, we gotta bring Pinky back, man.
We'll
We gotta
bring
do it
Pinky
again.
back.
Ridiculous.
I want to jump in on a couple of things if I could, and I know you shared.
Yeah, Jimmy, you've been very quiet.
I've been enjoying the stories, and
Yeah.
you touched on a few things. Let's talk about your grandfather,
Yeah.
because you're very family oriented,
Yes.
and I love. And we're gonna get more into it, but I want to talk about your grandfather, because that's really, you started working with him.
Yeah, if it wasn't for my grandfather, it would be no Big Dave cheesesteaks flat out. So, my grandfather was a deacon at the church, and my grandfather was the type of man that he don't miss anything. He had everything during church through the week, but Sundays he is not missing Sunday church.
Sunday church.
Yeah,
and
then,
Sunday dinners.
Yeah, but this is how it happened. So he would say, I used to watch him cook, but he would tell me, if you're not gonna come to church, you got to finish my Sunday dinner. And most of the time, I would finish the Sunday dinner.
Well, I would imagine so. By the way,
Yeah.
it's a very good choice he
Yeah,
gave you.
I
Because
would-
I would take that Sunday dinner every day.
I
of
used
the
to
week.
finish it though, right? But here's the thing though. I tell people, sometimes your calling is right in front of your face, you don't know it. So throughout all these years, I'm learning how to cook with my grandfather. And by the way, that man was hard as hell on me. I couldn't do anything right. Every time I would do something, he would be like, that ain't how you do it. And I used to be like, why is he so hard on me when I'm just trying to help? But he seen something in me that I didn't see in myself
Yes.
early on.
That-
He knew I was the one out the family that was going to carry the legacy. My grandfather knew that. Like, he would let everybody else play, but I used to have to sit around.
It's like, D, you ain't playing.
Yeah, like
And
he's-
working.
And,
Yeah.
and is that when was your aha moment
So
that
my
you
aha,
knew
to be honest, my aha moment was on his deathbed.
on your grandfather's?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because when they sent him home for hospice, he didn't want to stay in hospice. He came home. So I used to drive from Dunwoody, Georgia to Athens, where he lived at, and that was about an hour and 20 minutes. I did it every single night. Well, my oldest daughter, Dallas, she was only 6 months old. And I used to had to take care of her at nighttime and my grandfather and get back to work and work a whole 10-hour shift in the restaurant every single day until he passed away. I literally did that, but it was a man that I respected and I honored. But he told me something before he passed away, just like my dad did. And he told me, he said, hey, I said, no, this is what I came to him. The truth is, I told him, I said, Pop-Up, I said.
You called him Pop-Up?
Yep. I said, I'm going in debt. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep my business. Everything is swallowing me. He said, you're going to be okay. He said, just don't give up. But this is the thing he asked me. He said, promise me something. He said, promise me you will take care of your grandmother. You'll make sure that she don't never go into a nursing home. She's going to be okay. And I promised him that. And my grandmother just turned 93 years old yesterday.
Wow.
She's been with me since 2017.
Unbelievable.
So I honored that. So all these things that I was raised through men, I wanted to respect and honor them the way that they respect and took care of me as a kid. And my grandfather, I don't give him enough credit in my story, but if it was not for my grandfather, I would not have Big Dave cheesesteaks, because some of the recipes, some of the oil and water mixes and everything, I got that from him. He gave me the game on how to do it. So I was able to master it, but my grandfather gave me the key.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
You also you talked about your father, and you talked about you named your company after your father.
Yes.
And that was really, and you talked about the defining promise.
Yes.
And he asked you to stand on your 10 toes.
Yeah.
And that really, so you got you got a lot of
So the
skills.
two men that
you got skills,
Yeah.
your culinary skills. You learned from your pop-up.
Yeah.
And then your pop.
Yep. And my dad, this is what I learned from my dad. I watched my dad work Monday through Friday to take care of his family. A blue-collar worker. He did whatever he had to do. So I learned how to take care of family from both men. But what they didn't teach me, so I tell people this all the time. You take what you can get and you master your own life when you're using that tool. I was taught how to take care of family. I wasn't taught how to love one. Because they were so strong men that they didn't sit there and, I love you. Those
Right.
words wasn't used in the household.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
As a young child, whether you a boy or a girl, some of those things you miss out on later on in life when you become an adult. Like you hear stories from other adults and you're like, well, wait a minute. I was raised up pretty tough. I didn't have that. But I was raised up with structure.
Yep.
I was raised up on how to treat people, how to honor things, how to not lie, and how to not steal and stand on responsibility no matter how hard it was. They gave me those morals and principles. And needless to say, my grandmother, she was the baker. I wasn't, the baking, I ain't no baker.
That's a whole other ballgame.
That's a whole nother ballgame.
Baking,
But
yeah.
here's the thing. Every summer, I would get shipped to Athens because my father did not want me in the streets of Philadelphia over the
Right,
summer.
right.
So mind you,
Keep you busy, baby.
I'm in like
Structure.
New York City, right? So you know how you got New York, you got everybody walking around.
Yep.
Philly is just like that. So I'm used to that high-paced traffic. I get to Athens, you got cows and farms, and I'm like,
Nothing to do.
what am I doing here?
Yeah.
But
What
all
did
the
you do
summers that I did planting flowers with my grandmother, going to big lots and all the boring stuff, and
Yep.
I'm like,
Bingo, maybe? Do a little bingo?
none of that.
No bingo.
I'm going to big lots. I'm going to Walmart. I'm going to the Chinese buffet when I'm good. My grandma take me there. We're going to CC's Pizza.
Yeah.
So we're doing all these things during the summer. And when I became an adult, I realized that a lot of those moments saved my life because it taught me how other life can look outside your box.
Yeah.
See, in life, you got to be uncomfortable to get comfortable. I was very uncomfortable in the scenario that I was in because I wanted that lifestyle that I was used to.
Right.
But in 2002, I got shipped to Athens, Georgia to go to high school. And that was Clark Central because I was going to Overbrook where Will Smith went.
Right.
And my dad was like, you know what? It's time to get him out of here. I don't like what's going on. So the first day of school, I sit at the wrong table. I sit at the football table. And a guy come over to me. He's like, yo, get out my seat. You're in my chair.
Uh-oh.
I'm from Philly. I'm not moving. I'm like,
What'd you say?
I'm like, I don't see your name on this seat.
Ooh.
I'm not getting
Football
up.
player. I mean,
Football player. But
you're bigger
watch
than me,
this.
but you're not that big.
But watch this. I was always a little guy, but I didn't care. But watch this. My buddy John, who is still my brother right now from 2002, he's from New York. And he had to transition the same way I transitioned. So he grabbed me. He said, hey, come here. I heard it in his voice that he wasn't from there. I knew he was from up north. So I got up and I started talking to him. And he was like, hey, man, what's your name and all that? And I started telling him, you know, my name and where I was from and all that. He said, look, this is how things go. And he was telling me the tables at the cafeteria and all of that. And then the projects was across the street from the school. And he was like, those guys from the projects. I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, you know, I come from a rough place and all that. But needless to say, I was able to go to school with other races, and they showed me different lifestyles of family. And I was able to raise my family in certain ways because I seen that. So you are what you see.
I love it. Jimbo, we got a lot to go through. I got to take a real quick break.
Yep.
Just a quick break because, I mean, D can talk.
I like
Yes.
this.
I thought we can talk.
We're having a good time.
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
it.
He's
Oh,
talking.
no, man, I'm a storyteller.
I'm going to take a real quick break,
All right.
okay? And we'll be right back, okay? So we're going to take a real quick break, and we'll be back, by the way, with Hot or Not, little trivia, and you're not going to miss it. So sit tight and stay tuned to the Hospitality Hangout with Big D from the greatest cheese, the Dave's greatest cheesesteaks in the world. I just renamed it.
Renamed it.
Wait
I
till
just
y'all try
renamed
it.
it.
Now let's go back. Let's keep Derrick's name. Let's keep
All right,
Big.
We'll be right back, everybody.
All right.
We are back. We are back after that break, and I got to tell you, Jimmy, I'm going to switch gears here, and we're going to go to Jimmy. Do you have breaking news for us?
Bum, bum, bum.
Look on page 7.
You know what?
Page
No.
7.
Actually, no. I do have breaking news. I'm very. Yeah, I do have breaking news. First of all, I want to talk about the industry and the opportunities that you've been exposed to. 90% of restaurant managers, okay, start in the entry level, and that to me continues in this incredible, industry we're in, that you can start at the bottom, and 90% of managers, they all start at the bottom, but your whole philosophy has been about helping others.
Yes.
So, first of all, the breaking news in Shatsy asked, in addition to your number 7.
Thank you, Jimmy. I cued the music like
Sorry.
5 times.
In addition to your number 7 in that cooking
live show,
competition,
Jimmy.
you took number 6
Yes.
in Fast Casual's top 100 movers and shakers.
That is breaking news.
And that's breaking news. You're also the first black-owned cheesesteak brand to ever achieve this.
Yes.
So
Unbelievable.
So talk about what you might want to share about that moment, about what you put in place. You're a big believer in helping others. Share a little bit about that moment for you.
So I'm still actually living in that moment because it was something that I really worked hard for. But needless to say, when we were walking into the ceremony, I told my guys, and I got the
Did
video.
you dress up nice? 'Cause you're
Oh, I
supposed
had
to
a
dress
nice
up
suit on. I had a nice suit on.
How come you didn't win best dressed?
I should have.
Right?
I should have.
Zach
It
Oates
was
is tough.
Zach. Who was
I had
Zach?
on a purple. I had a purple suit on.
Were you wearing sequins and stuff?
Nah, no sequins. So they wanted it a little louder. I get it.
Yeah, you gotta be a little crazy.
Yeah, they
Zach,
wanted the
Zach's-
loudness.
By the way, Derrick and I'll cook Zach, but Zach
Yeah,
goes
they
loud.
wanted. Yeah, they wanted.
Zach goes
I actually
loud.
met Zach. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he's a
met
good dude.
Zach, yeah.
One of our friends.
Yeah,
One of our
but-
partners.
I think the fix was.
But I told my team going in, I said, guys, we coming in the top 10. And I see my guys behind me, like, whispering to each other, like, hey, what are we going to do if he don't get it? He's going to be, hurt.
Devastating.
But you know what? I walked into this knowing that I deserved it no matter what. So when they started from 100 and they count down these names, and I'm hearing some of the biggest companies that I grew up off of eating, and my name not called yet, I'm just sitting there like, oh my goodness.
I'm in good company.
I'm in good company.
Right.
So this is when it happened for me. The reality hit when Jersey Mike's name pops up at a number 11.
Jersey
And they
Mike's
just sold
number
for
$11.
$8 billion.
$8 billion.
Yes.
And they still didn't call my name, and they go to number 10. They go to number 7, and then they go to number 6. I don't even remember. I don't remember.
But every time,
Let's
you know
make
you're
it-
getting
let's make
somewhere,
up.
and every time they call a number.
Once I knew that I cracked top 10,
I thought it was,
already won.
I thought it was McDonald's.
No, McDonald's didn't get it.
So number 6.
Number 6. But when I got number 6, you know, I looked at my team and I said, we deserve this. Like, we
That's
deserve this.
fucking believable.
Yes, we deserve this. We put in the work. But needless to say, I looked up and I said, Dad, we're doing this.
Right?
But let me tell y'all something that's special with this, what I'm about to tell y'all.
Because you know who number 1 was.
Dave's Hot Chicken.
Right.
Yeah,
He just sold for $1 billion.
Yes, and I look up to a lot of things that Dave's Hot Chicken do. I respect that whole group. They doing some magical stuff over there.
Right.
But the number 13, I started seeing a whole lot in my life. I can't unsee it. I see it every single day. And then when you take 7 and 6, what's that?
13.
Oh.
I got you.
Yeah.
I see what you're doing there.
Yeah.
Where I come from? The 76ers.
Ah.
Oh.
10, 10, 9, 8,
Yes.
76ers.
Oh, you know what was number
So-
7, by the way? A little company called Chipotle.
Oh, Chipotle.
So you were in a pretty good spot.
Yeah. So
there.
the thing is that when I got called, to be honest, it was a shocker, but it also was you deserve this, and now I'm getting opportunities from just from other spaces. Like, you know, for me sitting here doing this podcast with you guys, for me this is a dream for me because in my career I always just wanted to be able to tell.
You're dreaming very low.
No, it's no. I'm gonna tell you why it's a dream, and you guys are amazing. It's not that, but like when you reach highs in your career and you start to be able to tell your story in different spaces that can resonate to different communities, that's when you broke it. That's when you kick down the door.
I agree.
Because I can get in any of my culture stuff. I can do anything.
By the way, I think this is our own meet cute moment.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna know each other for a long time. and
Yeah,
I
we're
wish-
gonna
I'm
look at
gonna
this
make a
later.
statement. We're gonna do some stuff together because I really, I love your energy, your passion. You learned a lot from some strong men, and you're making sure you're loving on your family, which is different than your experience. But I think that's a really wonderful thing. This is our meet cute moment.
I
Yeah,
gotta
I appreciate
jump
that.
into a little this or that. Can we jump into a little
Let's
this
do
or
it.
that?
Let's do it.
Because I gotta jump in a little this or that. I'm getting notes from the. So let's do a little
Little bit of this,
a little
bit of
this
that.
or that.
A little bit of
All
this,
right.
a little bit of that.
We're gonna play a little this or that with Derrick. Okay. Using popular foods from Philadelphia and Atlanta, your kind of home areas.
Yeah.
Don't
Right.
get Derrick in trouble now.
I know, man. I know what y'all about to ask me.
Yeah,
Let's go.
don't get him in trouble.
Cheesesteak or hot wings.
Cheesesteak,
Tasty cake or beach cobbler.
tasty cake.
Yeah, right. Everyone likes tasty cake.
Hey, man, I was born off tasty cake.
Yeah, me too. By the way, I feel like I'm pretty healthy.
Hey,
I
tasty
love
cake.
Fruit
I need a
Loops.
sponsorship now that I just plugged y'all. I could have said
Yeah.
a peach cobbler.
Soft pretzel or cornbread.
Soft pretzel. You know why? Because I sell Philly pretzels in big
Yeah,
days.
you gotta go. Do you put mustard on your pretzel?
Yeah.
You do?
Or cheese.
Yeah. What is the right? Is there a right way?
I tell you what. Try this. Try a cheese pretzel with some mustard on it.
Cheese bread. Okay, you get it all, right?
Yeah.
Get it all.
Get it all.
Who said you can't
Wawa
get it all?
or Quick Trip.
Wawa. I tell people
What do you love at Wawa's? The wings?
the hoagies.
The hoagies.
The hoagies.
Yeah, Wawa.
I mean, listen. The Wawa got Emerosa Rose. I got Emerosa Rose. So, Wawa.
Ben Franklin or Big Boy?
Which one? Which big boy?
I don't know. Julie, what the hell's Big Boy? Like Big Boy the restaurant, or is it Big
The big boy, the outcast? Like, which big boy?
Big Boy who? Julie?
I think Big Boy's the restaurant. I think.
But
she
why would
went-
it be Ben Franklin?
Well, Ben Franklin used to be a big boy.
I have no idea.
Big Ben. They called him Big Ben.
Let's scratch that one. We're going to say the Big Ben. We're going to name them both.
Yeah,
Big
I don't
Ben.
know what she's talking about over there. But anyway, all right. I don't know. I don't know what she's talking about over there. But Jimmy, you want to opine on any of that stuff?
I guess I'll start at the top. I think Shatsy was doing a little Atlanta versus Philly there,
Yeah.
and pitting one against the other. At the top, he went clearly with the cheesesteaks. He went with Philly cheesesteaks because that's your DNA.
Yeah,
that's
that's
your
my
thing.
DNA.
Are there things about let's say the Atlantic cuisine that you can tip your hat to? Are there things you're
You know,
Oh, Big Boy's from Atlanta. Ben Franklin's from Philly. That's where.
I ain't familiar.
That's
There
where
you go.
she's.
Yeah, I ain't familiar. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry, Julie. Nobody knows this.
That's all right. I didn't know it either.
Yeah, I ain't familiar with them.
Yeah.
But What was your
And
question?
Derrick's young, Julie. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm old.
But
All
talk
right.
about the food scene in Atlanta. What are you observing? What are you seeing out there? You're bringing your authentic Philly self and your authentic Philly cheesesteak. What's got your attention in Atlanta?
What's got my attention in Atlanta? I'm gonna have to kind of sidebar the answer a little bit. Entrepreneurship in Atlanta is unmatched.
Is that right?
Like it's a place I've never seen that you can come with no money and bust your butt for 5 years and build a life, because Atlanta is full of dreamers.
That's awesome.
And when you look at the hospitality space, right now with me ranking number 6 in America with that, I just open the doors for every African American hospitality in the world right now to give them opportunity that they can do it. And in Atlanta, the surrounding areas, they watch me build this out of a gas station, so they like, nah, we can do it now, and they have the space, they have the opportunity. But the one thing people got to understand, you can have a product, you can have a story, but you got to make sure your business numbers and your books is clean so you can scale the business so that you can have the opportunity to hit those type of lists that I just hit. All the way around
It's
the board.
still a business.
Yeah,
It's
still a business.
It's
Like
still
the story
business.
can be good,
Yeah.
the product could be great, but you got to push those numbers. And I think I came in, knocking down AUVs in my sector. My AUV 1.76, and coming in the sandwich sector.
That's a big number.
Yeah, that's a huge
That's
number.
a lot of sandwiches.
Yeah, that's a lot of sandwiches.
I'm glad you switched from those Italian ices.
Yeah.
Those slushy things.
But my AUV is going to be, guy willing higher
2
when the
million.
next one come out. Yeah.
That's some crazy numbers.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
But my profitability is in the 1%, and the things that I've been doing just been amazing. I lost internet on over here too.
You lost internet?
Yeah, the stream went out.
Oh, that's just great. Well, we're still recording, so we got to still go.
Okay.
I don't know what they did. I don't know
It's
what
okay.
happened.
A blackout can't stop what's meant, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's
I don't know
go.
what-
We keep playing.
Keep playing.
Oh, so let's keep going because we got to go to which came first because we have now surpassed 1 hour almost of talking to Big D.
All right, we can keep
So
going.
we can. So let me cue up a little something over here for a little which came first. Jimmy, Derrick, are you ready to play?
Let's go.
Derrick, I don't know the answers. You and I are playing together.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, Jimmy always cheats, by the way. Just like
How about cheating?
All right.
I got nothing. I got
don't
nothing.
know, 'cause I don't know. You like cheat. Somehow you cheat. All right, which came first? Pat's King of Steaks or Gino Steaks? What came first?
I think it was,
Mr. Philly.
I think it was Geno's.
Jimmy?
I have no idea, but just to make it interesting, I'm going to go Pats.
You might be right. It might be Pat.
Pats.
It
I
is
got no
Pat.
By the
idea.
way, 1930.
Yeah, you're right. It was Pat.
Yeah, Gino didn't start till 66.
Yeah.
All right.
Gino just got the recognition on a lot of
Yeah,
stuff.
fucking
Yeah.
Gino. Anyway, which came first? Cheese Whiz or American?
Whiz, for sure.
I'm going American cheese.
Nah,
It's American cheese.
nah, Whiz.
America.
Nah, that can't be right.
1916.
Listen, in South Philly, you're not getting a cheesesteak with American cheese.
Yeah.
They putting Whiz all day long.
Whiz.
Julie,
So-
we're gonna have to
Yeah, I
we're
don't
gonna have
know
to fact check that there,
Yeah.
Julie, because we're hearing D is saying Whiz is before
By the way,
American. But wouldn't there be no cheese Whiz
No.
without American
So
cheese?
let me explain this to you, right? So you got 2 cheesesteaks in Philly, right?
Right.
If you're getting a cheesesteak in South Philly, more than likely you're getting it from the Italians, right?
Right.
Italians is giving you Whiz over American cheese any day of the week. So if you just told me that Pat's was
16.
which was it?
1930.
1930. Pat was using Whiz. I can guarantee you that.
Pat was using Whiz. All right, well, Julie, we have some problems here. Not
But I
only,
might- but listen.
not only
by the way,
Big Boy and
but
Ben
I-
Franklin, but now we even
No,
got this.
I may could be wrong though. So
No,
you know,
here, I'm going to break this down quite simply. The question that was asked
Yes.
was which came first.
Yes.
Created.
Yes.
I think I heard something like 1960.
Yeah, it wasn't which who
right.
used
No.
what.
And what
Oh,
Derrick was
that's
saying
what I
was,
took
what
it.
Derrick
So
was
it's
saying was which
American.
is used
Yeah,
first.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
no,
So
which
I'm
came
saying-
first?
Right.
No,
I'm saying-
American cheese, of course,
Yes.
came first.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
thought you were asking
Yes.
me what was used on the
Derrick heard
cheesesteak.
who was
Yeah,
using
yeah,
the cheesesteak first,
Yeah.
and he was saying it was the Whiz. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Or-
what I'm. Yes.
We have cleared that up.
That was a
Glad
good way to- yeah.
glad I can help.
All right, which came first, the cheesesteak or the muffaletta?
The who?
The,
The who?
the muffaletta is that sandwich from New Orleans. The muffaletta? You get a big sandwich, got all the meats and cheeses, and then it's got some like olives.
Yeah, I
Derrick,
can't recall
Derrick,
that
I
one.
want to be clear. I don't know what muffaletta is.
You don't know what a muffaletta
I'm
is?
gonna go with the cheesesteak.
In New Orleans, the most famous
Let's go with
sandwich.
cheesesteak.
I'm going cheesesteak. I'm agreeing with Derrick on the cheesesteak. If we're wrong, we're wrong together.
We're wrong together.
I'm okay with that.
It's from New Orleans, man. Come on, man. They know it. 1906.
Wow.
By the way, I've been to a lot of
You know what?
stadiums. I've been
I'm
to a lot
going-
of food courts. I've never seen the come get your muffaletta.
I'm going to Essence Fest, and I'm going to go try that while I'm out in New Orleans.
We have some information. Cheese was developed by Kraft Foods in Britain in 1952.
Oh, so past was?
And then brought to the States in 53. It was intended as a pre-packaged cheese sauce to replicate the flavor of Welsh rarebit.
But, hold on.
Okay.
But, you said cheese whiz, right?
Yeah.
Just because it's cheese whiz don't mean they wasn't using another cheese sauce.
Yeah.
So whiz is a name.
Yeah, so
that's the
Cheese
name
Whiz is a
of
brand.
the brand.
Yes. Yeah,
exactly.
Cheese Whiz is from Kraft.
But
Yeah,
we're talking about actually having an actual.
No.
American cheese has been.
Yeah, exactly.
But who makes the Kraft? Who makes the singles? Kraft.
Kraft,
singles.
of course, Kraft does.
I mean,
Also, I'm so confused because I thought if you didn't go whiz, you're getting provolone. Clearly, I'm wrong on that. I thought you were getting provolone.
Well, I actually like provolone on my cheese.
Yeah.
steak.
yeah, but I always thought that a lot of you get a provolone.
I thought
No,
it was
that mean no.
the
You get
Italians
no.
use
You get
provolone?
no. You get like right now. If you go to Philly and you go to Jim's, you can get provolone in your cheese
yeah, I
steak.
thought
They
it was
ask though, don't they ask sometimes?
Yeah, you tell them what type of cheese you want.
Because sometimes I don't particularly love the cheese whiz. I'm kind of liking I
Yeah.
feel like the provolone is like real cheese. Am I wrong?
Do you eat a bagel with a fork and knife?
No, but all I'm
pizza with
saying
fork
is
and knife?
you don't have to get cheese whiz.
On it, yeah, no. So the way I get my cheese steak right now,
Yeah,
so if
how
I
do
go
you
into
get it? Yeah,
my
how
if
do you
I
get
go
it?
into my restaurant,
Shame, Jimmy.
I'm getting Cooper Sharp, onions, salt and pepper, a little bit of ketchup.
There you go. Thank you. No cheese whiz.
All right.
Jimmy.
But
There
the
you go.
Dave's Way
Mr.
cheesesteaks
Poopy
sell the most, and they
Pants.
got cheese whiz on it.
Cheese was on it.
All right, listen. What's that music? Do you hear something?
Yes.
Do you know the song?
I'm trying to get it.
We got a little Price is Right coming
Okay.
right now, okay? It's a little toast. I don't know what's going on here. It's a Spice is Right. Toast is bringing us a little Spice is Right. I have no idea why, but we're serving up some sizzling data from our friends at Toast. I have absolutely no idea why this is the Spice is Right. I think it's trivia. I don't know. Okay, according to Toast, latest industry report, okay, what percentage of diners say they'd order breakfast items at any time if they were offered it, okay? I will read you the options,
Okay.
okay? And I will read the question again because Jimmy's on his phone texting in the middle of our bit. Jimmy?
Just saying hi, my daughter. No, I'm not.
Julie, Jimmy's texting in the middle of our bit. That is verboten.
Verboten?
Verboten.
Forbidden?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm ready to play.
Jimmy?
Yes.
According to Toast's latest industry reports,
Yes.
okay, what percentage of diners said they'd order breakfast items anytime at a restaurant if they were allowed to, if it was on the menu?
Okay.
Is it 22%? Is it 55%? Is it 74% or 30%?
It's 30.
30%? Jimmy?
We're playing Price is Right, so if I go
I don't know
over-
what the hell we're
if
playing.
If I go
I have
over,
no
I
idea
lose.
what we're doing
I'll
over
go
here,
on
'cause
50.
there's
I'll
no
go-
prices,
I'm
just
going
percentages.
55.
I think
Breakfast
we're playing
all
the
day.
percentages right.
Breakfast all day.
This is the
I'm going
percentage
50,
right.
I'm going 55. I'm going above Derek's number. You said
Going-
55%. I'm
Yeah.
going 55%.
He going above. One of us
I went
got
above.
to be close.
I got to tell you, Jimbo is right.
Oh.
Jimmy, you never win.
I know, but I have an 8-year-old who will eat. Who will eat. If you give her, you ask her if she
So
wants
more than
breakfast.
half of people would eat
Well,
breakfast.
eat breakfast all
anytime.
day. I mean, they probably doing it from Waffle House then.
Yeah, I would love. I'll eat an omelet anytime. Like eggs? No.
Yeah, I think even in Atlanta, like, the Waffle House, you kind of see them, they're a little bit more drier in the middle of the day, but at nighttime, they're like jam-packed.
I feel bad for the egg. The egg gets really relegated to breakfast. Like pork, breakfast, lunch, dinner, beef, chicken, everything they make. But the egg is stuck on it.
They even just switched up grits. So I
Yeah.
agree with you on that.
Yeah.
So grits became a dinner. Think about it, shrimp and grits. That used to
and
just
grits,
be
yeah.
for breakfast.
Yeah, but I think what wasn't. I remember there was something about that. I thought that a lot of these things they were dinner and they kind of morphed into.
Well, I think
Breakfast.
what a lot of
Like did grits
concepts have
start
done
at dinner?
could be, but I think a lot of concepts over the time they took breakfast items and kind of just played with them and made them.
Because I heard that oatmeal, which is breakfast, started out. It was dinner. It was like porridge.
I mean, look at so porridge is amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
Pinky is Jamaican, so I live in a household with authentic Jamaicans, and they make porridge, man.
Really?
It's the first time I ever had
I
it
didn't know
too.
porridge was Jamaican.
Yeah,
I always think jerk chicken. I go
Yeah.
right to jerk chicken. I go right to jerk.
Oh,
you
jerk
know?
chicken and that and oxtails. You can give me that all day long.
There we go.
Well, listen, if you're hungry for more delicious data like this,
Yes.
this interesting nugget, Jimmy,
yes.
Toast Restaurant Trends Report at toasttab.com, and you can see more incredible information.
Give a little toast link.
All right,
Give a
but
little
right
toast
now,
jingle.
Jimmy,
Give a
you
little
know
toast
what?
Jingle.
Uh-oh. Remember Ace Ventura did this park on Pet Detective? Remember the little walk he was doing?
That is the Brandon Quickfire coming up. We're playing a little Brandon Quickfire with Big D from Philly or Atlanta. What do you tell people you're from when they ask you?
I'm from Philly.
They say.
I say, listen, Philly raised me, but Atlanta made me a man.
There you go.
So you tell, like, someone says, where are you from? You go Philly.
Yeah, Philly.
And I live in Atlanta now.
Yeah.
By the way, I really quick story.
Okay.
You quickly, where are you from? You went to where you're born. Philly. Okay. Philly raised you. Atlanta made you. Okay. By the way, and we mentioned Jersey Mike's a few moments ago. Shatsy has always said he's from New York.
Well, we're not always.
But you're from Jersey?
Yeah.
You're from Jersey. I knew it.
And you gave me such a. You gave me such a. It was so terrible the way you said it.
One time, you know, we're out and about, and someone said, "Where are you guys from?" Shatsy, we're from New York. And I didn't say a word. I just gave Shatsy a look. I just gave him a look.
I'm from New York. You're not.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like,
exactly what he
so
said.
then he's always
shamed me.
He says I've been shaming him. I said, I think you should be proud of where you came from. So we've done, I think, 400 podcasts. We've been doing this a long time, and we're on the podcast with Mike Manzo, Chief Operating Officer of Jersey Mike's, and he catches wind that Shatsy didn't own. Like you said, Philly in 2 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Proud. And
Philly.
Mike, literally 25 years of therapy Shatsy's been in, has never done for Shatsy what Mike Manzo did. Mike turned to Shatsy and starts talking about he should be proud. And next
Bruce,
Bruce,
Whitney
Frank
Houston,
Sinatra. And he's like,
Sinatra.
Mike Manzo's like, because Mike Manzo's from Jersey. He's like, we own Jersey.
Yeah.
And Shatzy goes, I'm from Jersey, damn it.
I'm from Jersey. I'm like 25 years of therapy. I'm done. I'm
that's
out.
like-
I
that's-
called my
I'm
shrink.
pure.
I'm like, I don't need you anymore.
I'm from
It's
Jersey.
like when somebody be like, they from Chester, but they be like, I'm from Philly. I'm like, no, you're from Chester.
From Chester.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
be proud.
I'm from Jersey, and I'm
Jersey.
proud of it.
Yeah, there you go.
But you know what we don't have in Jersey? We don't have this. Right? We don't have this.
Hey, let me tell you something. This Rocky, this represents the struggle of an American that's never going to stop.
Oh,
that
I love
fight.
it.
Bob, I'm going to show
grit.
you, after the show, I'm going to show you a video when my daughter was like 2 years old.
Run
I had her
that.
climb the stairs in Philly, and I'm playing this song,
Can I tell you
and
something?
she turns to me wanting to quit, and my wife is like, all right, let her stop, and you can hear me yelling, finish.
Watch this.
Finish.
That's my neighborhood.
That's your neighborhood?
This is your hood. Where Rocky got
Fairmount
out.
Park.
Where he got out.
I'm from 52nd and Parkside. The Man Music
Wait,
Center,
are you
the
from,
steps, and all that is
are you
right
from
there.
where the steps are?
Little, like not even 4 blocks. About
If I
4
had a little
blocks.
Rocky trivia, that whole scene where he's running and through like
Ninth Street, he wrote the-
Ninth Street.
ran
Yeah,
to
by the
Ninth
way, that was not scripted. People started following the guy running. The guy that threw him the orange, or
The
threw him,
guy?
the guy that threw him the
Sylvester Stallone.
no, the guy that threw
Oh.
him. He caught it.
Rocky!
And he threw him.
Do
He
you
caught
know-
it. That whole scene.
It's all-
That all just happened.
Preemptive,
It
really?
did, but do you know that a lot of Philadelphians thought that Rocky was a real boxer? A lot of kids was
really?
hurt. I was one of them.
Like, my grandfather watched Rocky back in the day.
I was like that. I was like, Rocky's the best boxer when I was a kid. I'm like,
Yeah,
Rocky
yeah.
is the
By
actor.
the way, if they Google it to find Rocky Marciano, they think that's the
Yeah, they think Rocky
Yeah.
Marciano.
Rocky Marciano's
Yeah, I
fine.
get it. I get it. All right, we're gonna do Brandon Quickfire. We'll do a little Philadelphia edition.
Nice.
Okay, because I like this song a little bit. All right, you're stranded on a deserted island. Not legit. Okay, you got Wi-Fi, right? And you can have one streaming show to watch, just one show. What are you gonna binge? You're stranded there. And it's gonna
Fresh
be long.
Prince of Bel-Air.
Fresh
Nice.
Prince of
That's really my
Bel-Air.
favorite show.
I like it. I like it. Wait, I like that. I like that a lot. I like
I'm gonna
that.
do the Carlton dance after we're done.
I actually met all of them. They actually act the way the show is. It's real funny. I met Jeffrey too. Twisted.
What's the last thing you Googled?
Who the hell is Shatzy?
The last thing.
Why am I here?
The last thing I googled was, truth be told, I did it on ChatGPT though,
That's
and
okay.
I said, what big companies right now are secretly watching Big Dave cheesesteaks?
And what did it say?
It told me Shake Shack, Roar Capital. It told me Inspired Brands.
Really?
Yeah, it told me some of the big boys. It made me
Wow,
smile a little
made you-
bit.
Yeah, probably got something else going too. I
Yeah.
think probably got a little, probably got a little Woody going there, huh? Jimbo?
It's exciting.
Yeah. All right, listen. How do you take your bagel? How do you do a bagel? How does
Oh
Big
man,
D do a
Philadelphia
bagel?
cream cheese and strawberry jelly. What you mean?
Toasted or
By
not
the way,
toasted?
It gotta be toasted.
Gotta be toasted. I was gonna
Gotta
say.
be toasted.
I gotta tell you something. Cream cheese and jelly. I don't know who the first person.
good.
to
That
come
is
up
so
with that.
amazing together.
Delicious, right?
Oh man,
Great.
you gotta get the jam jelly
Great,
though. You got
great,
that
great,
strawberry
great.
jam.
Julie, can we
Strawberry,
find out the
strawberry.
first person that put cream cheese and jelly together? Because that was good. Like peanut butter and jelly's good.
No, it's not. I'll take
But
that.
cream cheese and
I'll take
jelly
the cream
is
cheese and jelly.
very
over it.
underrated.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you like that?
I do.
You always, when we
Ooh.
have breakfast, we always have. Yeah.
Do you know what they should do? Philadelphia cream cheese, if you listen to this podcast, y'all should do a half and half stick of strawberry jam and cream cheese and put it as a package so that when you dip it on you just taking it together.
Yeah, because members, I think Skippy or Peter Pan put the jelly and the peanut butter in it together, and then you could just scoop it all out.
They used to do that. They used to do that a lot in the jar. I remember that.
Yeah,
you can get
in
it
a jar.
both. But
and then you don't have to.
I don't know if it's
we're
spoiled.
so lazy.
I don't know if it's spoiled faster that way though.
Well, that's why I think there was probably so many preservatives in there. It was like loaded like MSG or something.
Yeah, they probably was like,
that.
hey, we gotta cut this out.
How lazy are people that, you know what, we can't let them open 2 jars. They gotta put it in one jar.
I gotta open up jelly and
I mean, but it was helpful back in the day though.
Yeah, I thought it. But I think it looked cool. I think as a kid, you're
That
probably
swirl
like,
was
Mom,
like,
that's what I want. Yeah.
But they always put more peanut butter than the jelly seemed like. It was just like.
I think you're right, though.
The jelly used to have like a little swirl in it.
Yeah, I think the jelly would go bad and it just turns spoiled, you know. All right. Combination cream cheese and pepper jellies. 1970s?
Wow.
The appetizer became a favorite in the southern United States.
Wow.
Cream cheese and pepper jelly? I don't even know what that
I don't
is.
know about pepper.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. We'll have to wait on that. All right. What is your favorite sauce or condiment? Cheese Whiz. No, I don't know.
My favorite sauce is probably
favorite.
barbecue sauce.
Barbecue sauce.
Yeah, if you got to fire barbecue sauce, I'm eating that with everything.
If you got to go and buy barbecue sauce right now, what are you getting? Like, what's your go-to? Is it just
I like Sweet Baby Ray's.
Sweet Baby Ray's?
Yeah, I feel like they've mastered the market and on a level of the consumer from a household standpoint.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of good barbecue sauce.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, but I'm talking about from like a household standpoint, not a restaurant.
Yeah.
Like if you were going to the grocery store, the market, you know, I think they have a variations on the counter of probably the most. Like you can get hickory, you can get regular barbecue, you can get like lemon pepper. They got all type of flavors. So I think right now they're doing a good job at the market.
One of our first restaurants was Duke's. It was a Roadhouse.
Oh, I'm familiar with
and
Duke's.
we had barbecue. Well, it's not Duke's mayonnaise.
Oh, I think come out.
And we made our own barbecue sauce called Duke's barbecue sauce. Oh, and look at this. I think we have a jar. Oh my God, this is so old. If we open this, I think. Look at that. This is our old barbecue sauce.
You just put me on something. I ain't never seen that.
Yeah, well, you'll never see it because we don't make it anymore. I think this one's probably spoiled. I don't know what the
vinegar is like. I'm done.
But look where it's made. You see, it says branded restaurants. Yeah, we used to make this shit. It was really. I got to tell you, it tastes yummy on chicken, ribs, steak, shrimps, vegetables, and shoes.
So why you stop making it? Why you stop making it?
Look what it says there. It tastes good on and shoes. I don't know. You know, it was so hard. We got into Whole Foods. It was such a drag. Like, what I realized when we started doing that, it's like, if you want to make money in the sauce business, at least what I learned, you got to sell like 1 billion cases.
A lot of people don't know CPG. You got to push volume.
The markets that sell it, they don't like you make any money. They're like, yeah, you can sell. Yeah.
What are you paying? 20% on the shelf? I mean,
yeah, and then for shelf, and the distributor that puts it out there, they get paid. The market gets paid. You're left with nothing.
I mean, that's usually the game.
Yeah, it's really incredible. All right, barbecue sauce. If you were to challenge Jimmy Ryder, classic card game of Go Fish. Boy, I used to love that game. I haven't played that in a long time. Go Fish. You have better odds of beating Jimmy or me in Go Fish. Do you know what Go Fish is?
Yeah, but I'm trying to see.
Why is that even here? Are you like a big Go Fish favorite?
No, y'all should have said poker or something or blackjack.
Yeah, all right. If you were to beat Jimmy Rye in blackjack,
blackjack.
No, that's Jimmy Rye in poker. We're gonna play Texas Hold'em, right?
Yep.
Who are you gonna beat?
All right. So this is how I see it,
Yeah,
right?
I know.
I'm giving y'all the raw.
Yeah, you play a lot of poker. I can tell.
You on the left side, right?
I got no poker face.
But the thing is, that can kind of damage you because you can be bullshitting and you really can be like really good.
Yeah, true.
Then Jimmy can look kind of like, I'm focused and I got a good hand, and you could be scared to play against Jimmy's hand, and he actually don't have a good hand at all. So
Jimmy don't have no poker face.
No, it's not the poker face. It's the uncertainty.
Oh, really?
You see what I'm saying? So
look at that face.
Now watch this. If I'm playing poker right now, I'm like, is this guy bluffing? So I think you guys have a good poker face to both of you.
There we go.
So I'll say both of you.
There we go.
I'm taking y'all with me.
But you got 5 kids. What games do they play?
My kids
they play any card games or not?
I was gonna say, but it's gonna be goldfish.
My kids like this. No, so
I played goldfish last night.
Fishing. So my son loves to fish.
Like real fish.
Yeah. So my dad, that was one thing that I grew up off fishing. That was a really big sport. And I take my kids fishing a lot, so they love fishing.
Where do you go? Like, is that on the lake?
Yeah, my lake so I live in a country club that had a lake, so I take them fishing.
And that lake is it a real lake?
No, it's a real lake.
It reminds me of it's not a fake lake. It's real.
Oh
water.
no,
I mean, like, did they make the
I've
lake,
caught
or
a
was it there?
19-pound bass out that lake.
Oh really?
I'll show it to you.
Did they stock it with stuff?
So let me let me tell you. So yeah, it made me feel real good.
Right.
But I can tell you this: they knocked trees down and they discovered this lake. So this lake probably haven't been fished in probably
so like prehistoric
like
time.
20 years.
Oh.
So
Okay.
I'm over there throwing my lines and them bass are just hitting it. So
I love it. All right, listen, I got to tell you, I don't know, I mean, that's an hour and 21 minutes. That's our longest podcast we've ever had, but we got some gold. We got some gold, Jimmy. Let's take it home because Big D can talk for a long time.
As can we. Derrick, this was really super cool, and I'm so glad that you agreed to do this with us. You are truly a hospitality hustler. I think we have to give a big shout out to our friends and partners at Toast for working with us to make this happen.
This is a hustler, man.
I think we're going to have so much fun with this series. We're going to continue to do these types of things, but celebrating the folks that are really the hustlers. I think you've opened up a lot of. First of all, you've done amazing things for you, your company, your people, your team, and your family. But as you said earlier, you've opened up a lot of doors that now people who think they may not have been able to do something like this, all of a sudden have their own North Star, and that's you.
Are you nervous that now everyone is going to start a cheesesteak company?
So it's millions of cars out here, right?
Okay.
So you choose what color you want to put on your car and what tires, right?
I get it, yeah.
But when you're a Rolls Royce, you're a Rolls Royce.
How come you didn't bring us a cheesesteak? I'm a little upset. I'm hungry right now.
Man, I
And
wish I
usually,
could
like, I
have,
thought
man.
a door was going to open up and someone was going to be
I
bringing
wish I
us-
could. So when New York City gets
Where
a big
are the 10
cheesesteaks-
stores? Are
So
they
they're
all-
in Atlanta, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Orlando right now.
I don't know. Could have got one from Orlando on DoorDash or something.
You know what? We'll go visit Derrick and have.
Yeah,
one
man,
with
come
you.
visit
We're in
me.
Orlando. Jimmy and I are going to Orlando next week.
Let's go.
Next week.
Soto. So right around the corner from the Kia Center, right downtown Orlando.
We're at the conference center,
Yeah,
right?
we're-
The expo.
No, I can guarantee
We're
you,
at
y'all
the-
gonna be by it. If y'all at the
Matter?
conference center,
We'll be at the conference center.
yeah.
Is that near there?
I'll set it up for you guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
let's
I'd
go.
love to have a cheesesteak.
Let's go have
Yeah,
a
let's
cheesesteak.
do it.
Dude, by the way, you know what we'll do? We'll do our sandwich safari there.
Boom.
Julie,
Let's do it.
We're doing our sandwich safari in Atlanta. Drew, you got to come to it. I mean, in Orlando. Drew, you got to come because I can't video myself. I'm terrible at that. Drew, you'll have to come down for the day. Okay.
All right, there
All right.
we go.
Listen, bring us home, Jimbo.
All right, now, after all that, I just want to say, really appreciate what you're doing. If anyone wants to get in touch with Derrick directly, you can email the podcast team, and then we'd love to connect you. And I also want to say, next, we're going to be bringing Mr. Al Hank, the COO at Barbecue Holdings and Papa Murphy's, is our next hospitality hustler that we'll be featuring. So, Derrick, a big shout-out to you and your team. Shatsy, close us out, sir.
I thought it was very, for the hustlers, I think this Olympic music
Yes.
is very,
That's how we wrap up the
right?
hustlers.
The Hustlers with Derrick Hayes.
By the way, I see a Hustler series. I see a Hustler event. We bring the Hustlers up to this
Bring the
kind of
Hustlers
music.
together.
Awards.
The Hustler
Hustler
Awards.
Awards.
Hustler Awards.
Julie, we got gold coming. The
Got
Hustler
gold.
hat.
Yes, Hustler hat.
The Hustler Awards. I like that.
Do you know what the Hustler Awards is? So when you
just
guys
made it.
pick the Hustler Awards, right? Y'all gonna treat it like golf. Y'all gonna give out a jacket.
Yes.
100%.
So you
I'm
gotta
a
have
little.
the
I'm a little
Hustler
afraid.
jacket.
You can Google Hustlers and awards.
Magazine would come up?
I'm thinking magazine or a porn show. I don't know.
What's the porn awards? What's that?
Just put another S on
in
Hustler.
Vegas. But in Vegas, what was the porn star awards they always had in
Yes.
Vegas?
I don't know that one.
You bullshit. Yeah, you're right. You're like, oh, I never heard of that.
Yeah,
Is there-
look, I'm
was
a
there an
fat-
award show in Las Vegas? I didn't know that.
I don't
was
know
that?
that
Oh, I didn't know that. All right, listen, everybody. If you haven't subscribed to our newsletter, it's the Hospitality Headline, hospitalityheadline.com. Check it out. Check us out at Hospitality Hangout on YouTube. And I got to tell you, if you happen to be in Orlando, Carolina, Atlanta, whatever, check out Dave's cheesesteaks because they are the best. Big Dave's cheesesteaks. And I can tell you, they're a big sandwich. And I can tell you, we're going to do the sandwich safari there.
Sandwich
Cheers,
safari.
everybody.
Cheers, everyone. Thank you.